For the serious whitetail hunter, the upcoming season can be full of anticipation, excitement, and a lot of unknowns.
There's just nothing growing. Nothing. It's so frustrating.
Some seasons, after all the hard work, the success almost feels like it comes too easily.
I'm in shock. I'm in shock right now. Scissors. You got it.
Then, there are some seasons, no matter how hard you work, the season just completely humbles you.
Biggest deer of my life, and I just screwed it up.
I don't know what the heck's going on here. I don't know, I missed that deer. Not very good.
Then there are some where it just comes down to straight perseverance.
He's a giant. I hope I got that on film. Yes. Thank you, Lord.
This time, we lean on Romans 5, 3, and 4. And not only that, but we also glory in tribulation, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance produces character, character produces hope. And to us at Whitetail Edge, perseverance means results. I'm Ben Rising, and welcome to this year's Whitetail Edge. Whitetail Edge is brought to you by Mossy Oak, Black Widow Deer Lures, Prime Archery, G5 Outdoors, and Novix Tree Stands.
Hi, I'm Jeff Klump, and this is my story from our 2022 whitetail season. First thing I always do is just look at my Spartan app. I'm going through, and I'm talking about a giant on my camera, and I like shook my head. I'm thinking, there's no way this is real. I thought I was dreaming. That's when the chase started in Kentucky.
Today's July 12th, 2022, and we're crossing a bridge to go to Kentucky. It's not my farm, it's not a lease. I got a permit down here to hunt. This thing's about 10,000 acres, but they hand out a lot of permits, so I don't know, I'm kind of late behind the game here. I should have got out here late spring or even in spring, whatever. I've been so focused on my property here in Indiana that I'm kind of behind the ball, but it got kind of hot. It's making excuses of not coming down here, and it's like, you know what? It's 10:30. I got time to do it. So I buckle down, get my tail over here and put some mineral down for these deer. Gonna put a Spartan camera up, but you can see I'm crossing a bridge right now going to Kentucky. So season starts here in Kentucky September 1st, and we'll see what happens. We came down here about 2 weeks ago and put the analogics block down here, a bunch of mineral dirt 180, and also some attractant. I'm just going to freshen this up a little bit. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm down here again. Might as well go ahead and freshen this up because I'm not always down here in Kentucky. Last time I was here is probably 3 or 4 months ago, so I'm just trying to utilize my time and put all the ingredients out here for these deer, what they need. But anyways, I want to explain a little bit the setup we're going to have here. So we already got the mineral block. Again, we're in Kentucky, so you can bait year-round down here in this county. We have attractant, mineral block, and we have a mineral dirt 180. And we kind of already mowed this out a little bit thanks to my buddy John. Trying to like plan this all out on DeerCast maps of where the tree I have picked out, where I'm pretty sure I'm going to hang up a Novix in there.
where I can shoot about 30, no more than 40 yards. These deer should be all pinched to me. And then a nice little 1/4 acre plot right here where the green plot's going to go. I think we're going to do radishes, but not sure yet. But we're going to clear out some of these trees and be tucked away in the timber a little bit. We're going to be able to hunt this with a west-northwest wind.
Good morning, motivators. It is July 27th at about 6:20 a.m. I am rolling back up to my 10 acres here. I got about a 2-hour window, maybe hour and a half window before this rain hits behind me. I'm going to be broadcasting some clover. According to DeerCast rain station, I'm going to get about an inch of rain the next day. So a lot of exciting stuff going on here. Trying to get everything done before the rain hits. So wish me luck. Might walk out here with a wet butt, but hey, gotta get my food plots in, right? Well, we got a little wet, but we got it done. We couldn't thank our friends enough at DeerCast for having an awesome feature called the rain station. We got some rain yesterday, and I noticed more rain's coming in today, so I got up early to beat the storm. I got this broadcasted in, so grow baby grow, and we're chasing whitetails here in southern Indiana. Here we are at the redneck facility picking up more blinds, so let's go.
So here we are getting late summer going into the fall, and I had my Spartan cameras all in places where I thought that deer were really going to be coming to. New food plots, and again, this is a completely new piece of property here in Indiana, my own dirt. And I was pretty let down how I wasn't getting the buck pictures and movement I was really expecting. But I knew that this is a good piece of property. Eventually the deer would shift into my property. So I hunted a little bit, but I didn't want to go hunt just to hunt, so I will try to wait for the conditions were right. And finally, slowly but surely, more bucks were really starting to come onto my dirt. But I wasn't fully confident that if they weren't good, mature bucks I wanted to harvest. So I passed on a lot of good bucks, and I bought this dirt so I can enjoy my time at great outdoors, but also grow booners. And you can't grow booners if you're killing 130s, 140s, 150s. So that was my mindset, and I had a really good buck we called a double deuce. I was sitting in a redneck on a food plot, and he was hitting my beans, and he got within distance, and there's something about me, I just could not let the mega meat fly, because I wanted him to blow up. He was a younger buck. I'm thinking about 3.5, maybe 4.5-year-old buck. Beautiful deer, and I knew he had so much potential, so I decided to pass.
Whitetail Edge is powered by DeerCast, Illusion Systems, Deer Grow, Redneck Blinds, Spartan Cameras, and Analogics.
So here we are, late October. I wake up to go have a morning sit. And first thing I always do is just look at my Spartan app. I'm going through, and I'm talking about a giant on my camera. And I shook my head. I'm thinking, there's no way this is real. I thought I was dreaming. And I was so excited. I woke my wife up. I kind of scared her because she's like, what are you doing? Wake me up. It's early. I had to show her, I was so jacked up. And that's when the chase started in Kentucky.
This is our first sit. There's already 5 runs right there where the Spartan camera's at. I didn't see any scrapes, but didn't look around too much. I got a lot of history in this little section here, so I know it's gonna be good. I decided to sit here today because deer really hit these acorns, so.
Hi, Ben Rising here with Black Widow Deer Lures. On our show, Whitetail Edge, we're always looking for that one little thing to get the dupe on a big buck. For us, it has become Black Widow Deer Lures.
Yes! Yes, baby! I smoked him, dude!
Black Widow Deer Lures, never brown or broken down, and always fresh.
My first sit, where I set probably about 100 yards away from my camera was at, where I got this on the Spartan with this giant buck I call Candy Cane, and I didn't see nothing, unfortunately. I didn't really want to go into the property where the buck was at, so I kind of sat back, trying more observation sit, and I got back out. I had a good win. I regrouped, and that's where I went back upriver. I had to paddle about 20-30 minutes upstream and go into a creek where a nice secluded spot was at. I launched another Spartan camera, made a mock scrape, and I felt like it was a really good crossing out with my scouting, and it felt like a good spot. I had some deer movement, but I still could not find the buck I was chasing called Candy Cane.
Well, we're driving back from the river camp. Fred, what do you think about it?
I think it's a good spot. All it needs a good boat ramp.
Just needs a good boat ramp. That's it?
Yep.
What about the wildlife? We got your
Fish
deer
everywhere.
fishing everywhere.
Fish is everywhere.
What about deer, turkey, squirrels?
Yeah, we got turkeys in the yard, but we can thin them out somehow.
Okay. What about the deer?
Plenty of deer, looks like.
Here you go.
Yep.
You heard from the pro, Mr. Fred Wade.
That's right. It's time to get them.
I started boating up and down the river, and I just could not find Candy Cane on his feet in daylight. So I went in different spots, playing the wind. I can only hunt certain winds. So I knew like time was coming for the rut. Like, this buck will daylight eventually. So I was trying to be in there on the right winds, right sits. And when deer cast said great, I was in there. And then my time was coming short going into early November. I had this scheduled hunt in Illinois to go to. So that's when I had to back out, pack up, and go to Illinois. And I just knew when I was in Illinois, this buck was going to get killed because he's going to get on his feet. All it took was a hot doe. Then I got a phone call and then a video of this giant buck that was killed in Kentucky.
Whitetail Edge is brought to you by these other fine sponsors: Advantage Ag and Equipment, HHA Sports, Miller's Gun and Supply, Rogue Bowstrings, NFP Insurance, Classic Rack, COBRA Archery, Packer Max, and E-Bikes of Holmes County.
Dan, what an awesome buck you got here.
Thank you.
I did a wild chase for him back in late October. My Spartan cameras were firing away. I couldn't believe it. This buck showed up. This was killed in Kentucky. What was the date?
November 13th.
November 13th. That's awesome. Can you tell us a little about the hunt? What happened?
Well, it was a Sunday evening. Hadn't seen anything all day, and it was starting to get dark, and I was about to chuck it and go in. Like I said, this Sunday evening, I didn't want to shoot a doe or something and have to mess with it. I'd rather go home and sit in the chair and watch football. But so it was getting dark. I was about to call it quits, and something caught my eye off to the left, and I looked over, and there was a deer running. And I said, "Oh heck, there's another one behind it." Well, it was him chasing the doe, and it must have been meant to be, because he ran the whole length of this field, got right in front of me, 12 o'clock, and stopped. He was about 120 yards out. Picked up my rifle, looked through the scope. I said, "Oh man, I've got to shoot this." So I pulled the trigger. He went 10 yards and dropped.
What an awesome buck. I was going hard for this sucker. I was waking up 2-3 hours extra, drive an hour down to the camp, boating in, use my Novix, trying to find this buck when he's daylighting, but I just kept getting nighttime pictures. But that's great. That's awesome to see, Dan, that you got the buck, and man, what a dream buck. Look at this character. We're gonna spin him real quick, Dan.
Okay.
I haven't even counted on the points. Have you, Dan? I mean,
No, it's over 30, I know that.
got so much character to it. What a fun hunt. Nothing better than killing a giant buck with all your friends and family, right?
That's right.
So that's where a new adventure started, and we packed up and went to Alabama. So I never have hunted Alabama. It's always been back in my mind each year, like I want to go to Alabama to hunt the late rut. Their rut comes in January. So in January, the Midwest is pretty well winding down. Seasons are closing, but I still had that drive, that fire. I want to keep on going and going and going. It'd be cool to experience the Alabama rut at least one time, right? So looking back on last season, it sure was a bump and grind. I was getting on big deer, but I just could not seal the deal. And so I had to like regroup and move on to the next stage or next buck. And we finally got the job done down in Alabama. And this gives you a little bit momentum going into this year's season, where we'll be bouncing around and also in Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and where the chase begins.